Oh boy, how are you folks? Welcome back to another episode of the Josh Potter Show. How are you? I have shirts for sale. If you haven't picked one up yet, go scoop one up. I believe the first batch is out there going around, getting delivered as we speak. I had so many roaches purchase it. joshpottershow.com is where you can go. Also, this very weekend, starting on Friday, I'm going to be at SoulJoel's in Pottstown, PA. Some tickets are available. Go get them if you haven't gotten them already. I will see you this weekend, Pennsylvania. Congrats to the Phillies, by the way. We'll talk about them in a couple of moments. Also coming up here in the calendar, October 26th, I'll be in San Francisco. I'm wearing the hat today for the Giants. I'll be in San Francisco at Cobb's Comedy Club October 26th. On the 29th, I'll be at Seattle at the Hereafter with Chase O'Donnell. So all those tickets are on sale. Go get them now. Also coming up in November on the 22nd, I'll be back in Buffalo at Helium Comedy Club. And on the 29th of November, I'll be in here at Southern California at the Brea Improv. So all those things are for sale right now. Go over to Twitter at J_Potter or on Instagram at Josh_Potter. Buy the tickets in the bio. Other than that, we've got the twitch.tv/Josh_Potter. We've got the Patreon, patreon.com/The Josh Potter Show. Consume everything that you can. I love you very much. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for being here once again. 'Tis I with Kirsten. Kirsten's in the co-pilot seat today. How are you? Sound like RFK there for a second.
It's always an honor to be sitting co-pilot on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice because sometimes I do, like I said, I just every now and then my voice will go away and I'm all of a sudden I'm like, and then, Pfizer. And I sound like that guy. So I'm glad you're here. We have a little game we're going to play in a couple of moments. I'm excited. Kirsten developed a game, which I love. I encourage more games to come, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about another one I'm cooking up.
Ooh.
We find you a lady.
Ooh, I love it. But first we have breaking sports news.
Beep 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 beep.
And I mentioned the Phillies. They're going on to the championship series now and facing off against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And in the old division series, now I've had many things blow up my email before, here, joshpottershow@gmail.com, by the way, if you'd like to help blow it up, get your roach reportings in, send something to the show, maybe it'd be a musical bed or, an article or something like that. But this one got sent to me a trillion times. I can't give a single person credit, but I can give the roach community credit. This was sent to me a lot. And the fact is, it's happened again, folks.
You're on our mind. Charlie Manuel continues to improve. He suffered a stroke a couple of weeks ago. A legend here. 12 seasons as a manager in the big leagues. 9 of those coming here in Philadelphia, and was the skipper of that 2008 Philadelphia Phillies World Series winning team. And good reports coming in. He's even taken a little batting practice, we understand, lately. So, Charlie, we're thinking of you. This was Thursday. He can always rake.
Charlie, all he wanted was people to hit bombs.
In the air, deep left center field. Castellanos has another one for Charlie.
They should have known. Now, I don't know if that counts as a sad story necessarily. It is an uncomfortable one. Let's just put it that way. I mean, they even had the video package lined up talking about the man's stroke. Strokes make me uncomfortable, maybe more than just about anything, I gotta say.
Yeah, probably made him uncomfortable too.
Yeah, it looks uncomfortable. That's the thing about strokes. It's just, when I've never seen anyone have one in person, but like you go through those videos and they give you warning signs or whatever. If I was with someone who was having a stroke, I would be like, ugh, come on, chill out, dude. What are you doing? I would hate it. I would obviously, but this poor guy. So they have a video package for him. They want to give him a nice shout out. They wait until Nick Castellanos is up to bat. It's almost like they did it on purpose at this point. I said it time and time again that these guys, these commentators, they're waiting for Nick Castellanos to come up to talk about something awkward and weird because they know it's going to be a home run at the end of the day. And sure enough, another one to deep left center. There it goes. Whether it be an apology, a eulogy, talking about this guy's stroke recovery. I mean, it's just the list is growing longer and longer. If you're going to talk about anything off the field, and this is kind of a nice story, they're like, oh, look, he's batting again. But still, everyone's kind of like, ooh, and then Nick Castellanos just blasts one. So this one was kind of uplifting. Maybe this is going to help break the curse. I'm not sure. But so many people took notice of the fact that here it is again.
It's such a brilliant transition.
From that to
then just a bomb being hit.
And here's a guy not having a stroke, I'll tell you what, because he just blasted one into deep left center field.
They should have took that graphic out, and as soon as he hit the ball, it should have cut straight to Castellanos' ball going. It would have been
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
I mean, if someone should have edited it where they're like, he's really recovering, and it's him swinging it and then blasting one into. Unbelievable, but. Oops, I'm going the wrong way on my body. That's right, Charlie getting better from his stroke, and there is a stroke of genius from Castellanos as he swings the bat and blasts one to deep left center field. That one for Charlie. I like how they made it. They did make it positive because, typically it'd be like, and Charlie never going to be able to have function in his right side again, and here's Castellanos with a deep drive into left center field. And boy, oh boy, a lot of function on that left side of the field tonight as Castellanos blasting one there. So, yeah, I mean, I can't believe how many emails I got about it. And then we did have an interview with him. Let's just play it. Who cares? Even if this might get us, just take this part out if it does get us flagged or whatever because it's not necessary. But I love the attitude. Here's the thing I love about Nick Castellanos is he's kind of like a big f*** you guy. I love that. He just goes in there and he's like, are you talking to me? Like that kind of thing. But he also has a sweet side. His son Liam, who is like 12 years old. It must be insane to be 12 years old and have one of the best baseball players on the planet be your dad. That's got to be nuts. And his kid is like right there every game watching him. He had 2 multi-home run games. His dad is like a superhero. Imagine if that's your dad. You know when you go to school and you're like, my dad will beat up your dad? In this case, if Nick Castellanos' kid was in my school, I'd be like, yeah, your dad will beat up my dad. You know what I mean? Like, but let's watch this interview. This is not Family Man Nick. This is you, Nick.
Nick, nobody in Major League history has hit 2 home runs on back-to-back postseason games. You just did, and you guys are headed to the NLCS.
Where's the question on that?
There's no question.
Thank you for telling me.
I thought you'd be happy with that.
We got 8 more wins.
Here's a...
Yeah, he's like, stop wasting my time. I know what I did, you idiot. I was there.
Thank you for telling me.
Is there a question? What is he supposed to say? I would have been like, if I was in that spot, I would have been like, yeah, I did do that. I would have said something cool. I would have been like, oh, yeah, no. But he was like, is there a question? You idiot. And he's like, this poor guy's like, well, isn't that neat? That's his question at the end of the day. So there you go. The Phillies NLCS bound, and we are getting closer and closer to the World Series. And I would be excited for pretty much any of the teams getting in except the Astros. I'm just bored with the Astros. No offense to the Astros fans out there. I know they get very defensive. If you shit on the Astros, they want to, fight you, the Astros fans, because they're all like, we didn't cheat, they did it, but I didn't make them do it. They get all upset. And I understand. If my favorite team cheated, I'd have to own it. I mean, I don't know what I would do necessarily, but I would actually just have to sit there and really own it, and be like, yeah, I guess you guys aren't trying hard enough. I really don't know I'd have to be put into that position to find out. But elsewhere in the sports world, yesterday, just a day before this taping, I should say, the Cleveland Browns upset the San Francisco 49ers. And this really has nothing to do with that other than the fact that this gentleman plays for the Cleveland Browns, David Njoku. He had a accident in his home. He was cooking something, and I'm not sure exactly what occurred, but I don't know if he was cooking something on a stove and the grease, sometimes you're cooking chicken or bacon or something and the grease pops, you know what I'm saying? And they often say, don't be shirtless. I can go shirtless because I have enough, of this going on. So it protects me. I get a little singe every now and then. It smells like burning hair, and I look down, and I've just got holes in my chest from cooking. But evidently, David Njoku had a bad accident, and he burned much of his face while cooking. And here he is posting it without any mask. And he was very self-conscious, I understand. When this kind of thing goes on, he was very self-conscious about showing his face. And I'm not sure how much of it was like, obvious pain that he had. He had a lot of pain, I'm sure. And how much of it was like the embarrassment and like wanting his face to heal before he came back to the facilities, But it didn't take too much time for him to come back to the facilities. And many people were thinking, a lot of burn victims out there have come to him and been like, thank you for doing this. It made me feel less self-conscious, blah, blah, blah. It gave me the power, yada, yada, yada. And I think that gave him then less embarrassment. He felt good about what he had done. But before that, he was walking around like he was Vanilla Sky. I mean, the guy was walking around with a mask on. And he picked the most absolutely terrifying mask I've ever seen in my life. I mean, when he came out of the bus and they showed him walking and he had like a Bane coat on, and David Njoku, by the way, is insane looking. I mean, he is the strongest man that I've ever, he looks insane. Do you have the picture? I thought I sent it. My bad. Did I not?
Oh, I was just looking up the one of the masks that you mentioned.
Yeah. Did you have the mask one?
Oh,
there it is right there.
Oh.
So David Njoku, get that big one right in the center.
Yeah, hold on. Let me...
In the middle there. Do the one next to it, to the right. There you go. Now look at that thing. David Njoku, I had not heard about the burn thing. I'm like, David Njoku just joined Slipknot? Is that what happened? It's a clear Slipknot mask right there. Zoom into that guy.
I think this might be better.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go. Look at that fucking thing. And he's shirtless under the thing. That's not like a costume. That is his body, which is scarier too. So he wore this to the stadium to hide his burn. I get it. I would wear that mask all the time. Like, I am ugly enough where I would go like, this could be a look. Where do you even buy that? Like, it's a custom made. It's absolutely terrifying. What a fucking picture. I think he should wear the mask even when he heals. I mean, that is the most intimidating picture I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's fucking terrifying. Cool. Yeah, and I picture him like hitting a beer keg with a baseball bat on stage with Corey Taylor and the fellas. Bring him in,
This is like the Voldemort they don't want you to know about.
I mean, it's like, how do you even decide this is the mask I'm going to choose? If this was the mask for COVID, I'd be like a pro mask guy. 100%. I mean, that is insane. Wild stuff.
I'm seeing that in my dreams tonight. Not in a good way.
I thought you were. I thought you were saying that in like a sexy way. I was like,
no.
I get it. He's like a fit man. He always, even when he came out of like the draft, I was like, David Njoku's like a monster. He's like fucking huge and he's ripped. And everyone talked about how strong he was and everything like that. And then you put that mask on and it's like he's found his final form. After a crazy burn accident, David Njoku now has a face terrifying. I mean, it's not even because of his burns. I would think like I was less scared of him if he was his burns. It just looks like he has like a Michael Jackson thing going on with the burns. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's happening. But no. Do you think a black guy has tougher time with burns than a white guy? Like, would my face look like that? Like, would it be as noticeable? Do you know what I'm saying? With my white skin?
Yeah.
It would be? Okay.
I'd say probably, yeah. You'd probably be pretty red.
I just didn't know if it was like, they had a rougher time with burns and things like that. Well, Kirsten.
Write in. Let us know.
Yes, all my black friends out there. Are burns worse for you than me? I'd like to know. I'm not in your shoes. We do have let's play our little game here. What is this game called? Before we get to the news, we'll play the game.
I've not officially named it. I feel like we cover a lot of crimes happening at fast food places. So I thought we would just play a little pick and match. So I have a couple headlines for you on one side, and
now are these crimes that we've covered already, or are they like just in general ones? Okay, so I'm not familiar necessarily with these crimes.
I don't believe so. And then on the left there are establishments, and you can try to guess which crime happened at which place, and we'll just see how you do.
All right, and now do these apply to multiple or just one?
I think there is one that has multiple, the rest only have one.
Okay.
So, just for an example, our establishments that we have are McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, Chick-fil-A, Sonic, Arby's, Dunkin' Donuts, Burger King, and Taco Bell.
Now I'm curious through your research here,
mm-hmm.
and you don't have to tell me which one. Is there one that's noticeably less than the others? Like, is there a high-end fast food place where you're like, there's no crime happening there?
No.
Like, I noticed you didn't put, now it's not necessarily a fast food establishment, but Chuck E. Cheese we chronicled one time. Remember all the Chuck E. Cheese crime?
Yeah, I didn't include that one just because we had chronicled
Sure, of
it
course.
so much.
And
But
it's
yeah.
not really fast food.
Yeah.
But it is like, when I hear Chuck E. Cheese, I associate it with crime.
For sure.
Like many people do with other, like, parts of town, maybe. When I hear Chuck E. Cheese, I go, oh, shit's going to go down. So I didn't know if there was a fast food place that you saw that was either very noticeably having lots of crime at it or maybe noticeably being safe.
No, I mean, I tell you what, I think Taco Bell and Sonic seem to have the most sketchy of crimes, and we have covered some of that in the past, like someone finding a gun in their quesadilla, which happens.
We've had Sonic crime. A lot of coke found at Sonic.
Yeah, I think there's actually a Sonic near my hometown that shut down because they were handing out drugs in the meals. So
why don't we begin then? You're going to ask me a thing then, I guess? Okay.
Yeah, so I can give you the headline. Customer throws a violent fit of rage after receiving a burger with tomatoes.
Now, this could be
that down.
pretty much anywhere. I mean, it's a place with burgers. That takes Taco Bell out of it. Although, maybe I'm wrong. Does Taco Bell have burgers now? Or is that Del Taco? Either way, I'm going to take Taco Bell and Dunkin' Donuts right out of the list there. Chick-fil-A doesn't really have burgers. Although if you got one and it had a tomato, I would be upset as well. So this person threw a violent fit of rage after receiving a burger with tomatoes. I am going to say Burger King is where this occurred. Now, are you going to tell me yes or no?
I think I will at the end.
At the end?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me yes or no
yes
so we
or no?
remember now?
Okay.
I know it's not going to eliminate others for me. So.
All right.
Oh, you have the answers here.
It was Burger King.
I got it right?
Got it right.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
This is going to bode well for me.
This was a Michigan woman. She's facing charges after she attacked a worker because they put tomatoes on her bun.
And what did she do to her?
Let me see here. It looks like she hurled a cookie rack and a wet floor sign at the cashier.
Ooh, using the props around her. That's nice.
Exactly.
Yes, taking that cookie rack, which is weird. I'm sure that's only in specific Burger Kings. I'm sure they don't let just the run-of-the-mill Burger King have a cookie rack outside. And you know you're in a Burger King when there's a wet floor sign on the ground. All right, what is the next one?
All right, the next one we have is a manager charged with assault after police say he peed in milkshake mix.
Ooh, I know this one. This is McDonald's. I'm going with McDonald's.
It was Arby's.
Arby's? I didn't even know Arby's had milkshakes. Is it made of meat?
I mean, this one had his meat. Oh, I guess just his piss, but close enough.
Because here's the thing. That's a tale as old as time. I've heard the peeing in the milkshake mix. It's made me go like, I'm never going to get a milkshake ever again. Because I could have swore there was definitely articles, and maybe we even covered one, of a person in a McDonald's urinating into the milkshake mix. What do you think? What flavor do you think overpowers the other? The milkshake or the piss? Does dairy
I almost
dilute piss?
I feel like the smell would be there, but I think it still might have a little bit of milkshake taste to it.
Again,
I myself have never tasted piss, so I don't know.
I've never used milkshake to cover up the scent of piss before. Maybe it works. I've never combined the two things to see which one beats out the other. Do you know what I mean? Maybe this is the perfect crime. Maybe you can piss into milkshake mix and you're like, strawberry. It doesn't even matter at this point any longer. Do you know what I mean? I have no idea. But I've heard this crime a lot. This was a real toss-up. This could have really been anything. But it is Arby's, and it makes sense that the employees of Arby's are feral. We found corpses in Arby's. We've discussed things like that. So, I mean, that corpse story was tragic. It was an old lady who, wasn't even supposed to work at that Arby's that day. The lock on the freezer was broken, and she, went in to go check inventory one evening or something, and then the door closed, and she froze to death. R.I.P. So next up we have
6 Northern Nevada fast food joint violate child labor laws.
So 6 branches of this.
Yep, violated child labor laws.
And this is just a national chain too, so it's not just a Northern Nevada specific chain. Let's see, which one would violate Child labor laws. I'm gonna guess on this one Chick-fil-A because of their Jesus-y stuff. And they were like, these are children of the Lord. They're happy to work for the Lord, the Lord's chicken.
It was Sonic.
Sonic?
See, and Sonic would be doing things like that.
Hilarious. So what was the story behind this? Exactly?
Kids are just better on rollerblades. No, I'm kidding. I guess there are six different
kids
areas.
Working like extra hours?
They committed more than 170 violations of the child labor provisions of the Fair Labor Standards Act.
You have to be trying to be doing this.
They're allowing young workers to operate fryers without automatic fry baskets. Moving food in and out of hot grease, which is not great.
When you get a job in fast food as a young person, like 14, 15 years old, as I did, for the record, they really like limit your hours. They limit what you can do. They limit a lot of things. But I am curious because you just described 160 something child labor laws. Mm-hmm. Everyone's breaking them at some point. So if I was a 14-year-old, if I can go back in time, if I can turn that clock back, I would become very, very familiar with these. Because as soon as they give you one that violates it, I'd sue the shit out of them. So if you're 14 and you're out there, read up on the penal code for these child labor laws so that you can get your bag. All right? This is the easiest way to get a bag. There's no way that every restaurant is adhering to all of the child labor laws. There's no chance. So I bet it was a slippery slope. They made them do one egregious thing that caught the ire, and then they found 167 other ones, Or they were just like, let's fucking run these kids into the ground. What are they going to say? God bless those kids. They say kids don't want to work today. These kids were doing extra. Yeah. So, hey, we should actually give these kids a little bit of a pat on the back.
Think of them next time you get a chicken strip.
Yeah, think about that. And I say you make a manager at this point. So next up, we have a man stealing multiple iPads. Now, I wonder where he'd even get these. From people like around and about the restaurant? What's the deal with this? This one
he stole multiple iPads
from like were they iPads like where you check it like you're doing like I'll take a grilled this, I'll do this, I'll do that.
I believe that might be the case. I don't remember the specifics, but definitely within part of the fast food establishment.
So they are owned by the fast food establishment.
Yeah, it's like their POS systems.
Ooh, now what fast food establishment would have iPads? Because you can't just let hobos come in and operate iPads. That's insanity. At the certain McDonald's. Sometimes those like self-checkout things, I think hobos are fucking them, frankly. I think they come in and they're having sex with the self-checkout things. I don't know. But they're either using that or they're using them as toilets. So why even have them in there? Just let someone talk to me and take my order. But I'm going to go with, on this one, I'm going to go with McDonald's again. Now, all of these could be, McDonald's is like the baseline, so it's kind of my, like, when I have no idea, I'm going to guess. This is a Chick-fil-A. Why do they have iPads?
I know that sometimes, like, when the lines are really long, they have people with iPads out, like, in the drive-thru line.
Oh. So they probably have a stack in the back or whatever, and a guy just took a box of them.
He burglarized the place and was like, fuck yeah, I got 17 iPads now.
Now, I'm not a religious man, but you don't, I still also just go, I kind of like, am in of the school of thought of, I'm not going to, risk if there is God out there. I'm certainly not going to go to Chick-fil-A and steal from the Lord. I'll just go to fucking, some hell dungeon like Taco Bell. So this guy is just playing with karma, if you ask me. Next up, it says, Florida man was accused of breaking into this particular place. He cooked a burger and stole a safe. He cooked a burger. I think I heard this story. I'm going to go back to my boy. I'm going to go to Wendy's, actually. I'm going to say Wendy's.
Wendy's for this one?
He's cooking one of them square-ass burgers. And that's not to say that they're lame. I'm saying they literally have the square
Wendy's.
Patties.
You got two now. You're right.
Hell yeah. Look at me. I know a Wendy's when I hear one. You don't leave a Wendy's without going, give me one of them square patties. And then when they get all fucked up, that baby turns into chili meat. Remember that part? Remember that video?
Yeah, it says he used a brick to smash in a door. He then turned on the grill to cook a meal and left with the safe.
Hell yeah. Did you leave the grill on when he left? He goes, fuck you.
It doesn't
this place
say.
will burn to the ground.
Does not say.
That's how they caught him the next day. They yelled at their child laborers. You left the grill on last night? You got to go sit in the cooler now.
Oh, no.
Next up, a Florida fugitive steals an ambulance at this Greenville fast food joint. He stole an ambulance at it. I would have said Sonic if we didn't already have that. That sounds like a Sonic one if you ask me. But I'm going to go with Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts seems like a place an ambulance would stop by. You know, they need a quick Dunkin' run.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell? I don't want what was the ambulance picking someone up from the Taco Bell? Why was it there?
Very possible. Very possible.
Was it because it's like, I don't want my EMTs eating Taco Bell because then, you know, they could find themselves in a predicament. All of a sudden they get a call. They're on the toilet. I don't want anything to do with that.
It said that it was just parked there and the suspect went into the unlocked vehicle and found the keys, which is also concerning.
He was a fugitive on the run from the law or escaped from a prison? Because that's
he's a wanted man.
Because this is like, I mean, if this was a Harrison Ford movie, Tommy Lee Jones is chasing him, and he just is like at Taco Bell hanging out, that would have really taken away from the movie, if you asked me.
He also struck the corner of the Taco Bell with the ambulance, damaging it a little bit.
And he was like, "I didn't kill my wife." And Tommy Lee Jones was like, "I don't care." And that's how they have that moment at the Taco Bell drive-thru. All right, man was charged with third-degree burglary, third-degree larceny, and first-degree criminal mischief after he broke into an ATM. Now, I wonder if everyone who breaks into an ATM gets those three. That's like the three things that you get. So this man's just trying to steal from an ATM inside of... Now, most restaurants, I feel like, don't have ATMs. But
yeah, you're right, actually.
If one were going to have one, I would say it's a Dunkin' Donuts. I'm going Dunkin' again. One of these is going to be fucking Dunkin'. You're on the run. You're getting coffee. An ATM seems like it would be inside there.
It is Dunkin' Donuts. You were right.
Boom!
Nailed it. Far.
Nailed it.
Great,
God,
great
I knew
work,
it because there's an ATM there.
Yeah, I never have actually considered that, but you're right.
If you're going to rob an ATM, you got to pick one that's not near anything. But maybe they don't have enough money in them. You ever see now you go to one of these dystopian cities that's all fucked up and... You see an ATM just in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, I'm never using that because it just looks like it's going to steal your identity. But now I've seen ones that are, like, locked in cages and everything like that. They're, like, really dystopian looking. It's insane. I'm just noticing that as, like, you go out and about. Next up, we have customer attacked an employee in a fight over plastic straws. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Someone was like, well, you know, we have only paper straws here. And they're like, I want a plastic. People are getting so upset. Is it worth the turtles to have these kinds of people out there right now? There's maniacs who are fighting over plastic straws. Do we really need... What has a turtle ever really done? Do they help the ecosystem? I mean, I think they're just useless, so who cares? Like, if it can negate these types of fights. So if it's a straw place, have we had this one? Let's see. I'm going to do process of elimination looking ahead here. I'm going to go with McDonald's on this guy.
You are right.
Hell yeah. So why... Wait, so this is different because I don't think McDonald's ever got rid of plastic straws.
I think it might be kind of on like a location-to-location basis because like when I was in Southern California, there was still a lot of plastic straws, and once I moved up here, a lot of things were no longer plastic.
So even at McDonald's?
Even at McDonald's sometimes.
Does it say the circumstances here? I thought it was like she went in and goes, how dare you have plastic straws here? Like it's one of those who gets into a altercation, like a woman who's supposed to be like, I want to save the turtles, I don't want them to use plastic straws, and then when she sees them she becomes so enraged that she throws a public hissy fit and actually gets violent. I don't know why I put it on a woman, by the way.
Yeah, it's actually a male customer reaching across the counter and grabbing a female employee by the shirt and dragging her towards him.
Wow.
He said, I want her ass fired right now.
Because
you're going to jail.
Because she has plastic straws. Ooh, there's a video.
Ooh, yeah, there is actually.
John,
oh my
God.
Lord. Oh my Lord.
Let her go. Stop fucking playing with it. Stop fucking playing with it. Stop fucking playing with it.
This is like a hockey fight.
Oh
Let
my
go,
God.
dude.
Sir, stop. Puss ass nigga.
McFuck him
Puss ass
up.
nigga, play with it. I'm on that shit.
That was crazy. So
Yeah,
does it tell any more context for why they got so violent over straws?
It says the incident was sparked by a dispute over plastic straws. The man, identified by the police as Daniel Taylor, 40, began arguing with employees because the McDonald's location did not have straws out in the lobby.
Oh my god!
So they just weren't out in the lobby. He just
my
just
God,
wanted
dude.
straws that bad.
This guy walked in there.
It was
ready
his
to
last
kill
straw.
Dude, that is insane.
He yanks her across that.
Dude, this is a
counter.
lesson in what we're dealing with out there, folks. This is why you gotta just keep your head down and go about your business, because if you even sort of raise a flag about something, this guy walked in there ready to destroy something, and when he saw there was no straws, boy, I mean, all he did was be like, I'm honestly like speechless over this thing. Does it say anything else? Can you read more of this?
It just says that it was a dispute over plastic straws.
I need
not
to
in the
talk to this
lobby.
guy. If we know this guy, if you're out there and you're a roach reporter and you really want to get on my good side, find me this man, because I need to know what falling down-esque type day that he had before he walked into this McDonald's, because he not only, it's not even like it was a guy. He did it to a woman. He went through, like, you have to jump over so many like instincts of decorum to actually get to that point over, like, there's no straws out here. And then all of a sudden it's like the Incredible Hulk. I mean, that is the most alarming thing I've ever seen. I need to know so much more about this. Where has this happened? Where did this occur?
It looks like this was
Hartford, I thought I saw at the top or something. No, it doesn't say.
Petersburg, Florida. St. Petersburg, Florida.
Petersburg, Florida. Oh, my Lord.
Oh,
my Lord. I mean, if you're down there, we got to find out all this. There's the guy. What's his name? Daniel
Taylor, I believe.
Daniel Taylor.
Daniel Taylor. Let us know. We'd love to talk to you.
I'm going to find him.
Now, see, someone like him deserves a piss milkshake.
Yeah.
He just had one in the back ready for something like this.
People like him are the reason piss milkshakes are occurring all around this great country.
You're right. He just wanted to straw.
And lastly, we have one more. Louisiana woman arrested for throwing a monitor at an employee during an altercation at MIA. What's MIA?
The Miami International Airport.
Oh, so this is an airport one. Mm-hmm. And we haven't had a KFC yet. I haven't seen many KFCs in airports, but I'm going to go with KFC. Yes.
Yes, you are right.
KFC, Miami International Airport. Come on. Who's just like, you know what? I want a bucket of fried chicken on this layover right now. But she was arrested for throwing a monitor at an employee during an altercation. I can see altercations occurring more in airports than in...
I do have one extra one if you want to go for it.
All right, let me try.
The title was Man Shoots Employee When Store Runs Out of Corn.
That's got to be KFC, too. What else has corn?
Yeah.
I want it mashed in my bowl of slop. It's not the same without the corn. The corn holds it all together. What part of the world was that in?
That one, let me double check here. I believe a southern state. St. Louis.
That counts as the South.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun game, and I'm excited for future games. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you did pretty well.
I did pretty good.
I wish I had a gift for you, but
no, that's okay. I know my fast food crime. The gift is having the knowledge that I do, in fact. But today's Josh Potter Show is brought to us by... Oh, boy. I'm so excited that this has jumped on because I'm huge into this type of stuff. NBA2k Mobile. Now, I've never really dabbled in the mobile aspect of sports games, but now thanks to NBA 2K, I am definitely checking it out. And I'm actually using this. I'm going to use this to learn more about basketball, I've decided, this season, because I'm going to play the 2K, the real version. And now that I've got the mobile version as well, I'm going to definitely get obsessed, I think, because the mobile version is one of those things where I could play it all day long. So when you're in the mood for some basketball action, you don't have to wait until the next big game. Season 6 of NBA 2K Mobile is here. You can build your own custom dream team with all of your favorite NBA players and teams. And like I said, I'm going to get obsessed with this, and you're going to start hearing me talk about the NBA probably a lot more because this is going to help the hours that I'm putting in. You can even force You can even join forces, with your friends using crew mode, and you can dominate the court as a team. That's fun. I got to find some people who I can play with crew mode. There's always something new to explore. Dive into the tourney mode, the events, and the regular updates for non-stop action. Collect and unlock tons of player cards to up your team's performance, and you can take your gameplay to the next level. Season 6 launches with some of the most powerful cards yet. You can earn theme cards, by the way, in events and build out your deck. So right now, download the NBA 2K Mobile for free, by the way, on the App Store or Google Play, and use the promo code Josh Potter, and you're going to actually get a Giannis Antetokounmpo Jade tier card. Now, I know Giannis pretty good. I said Giannis, but it's Giannis. He's Greek like I am. So you'll use the promo code Josh Potter when you download NBA 2K Mobile for free, and you're going to get the Giannis Antetokounmpo Jade tier card. No one calls him by his last name, for the record. They just call him Giannis. So forgive me for not pronouncing that right. You think I would as a Greek man. Today's Josh Potter Show is also brought to us by the fine folks at FitBod. Sticking to the same old workout routine is going to lead to a plateau eventually. So you got to shake it up with FitBod. The FitBod app is like having a personal trainer in your pocket, and it creates custom workouts based on your goals, your experience, and your available equipment. No matter where you are or what equipment you have, FitBod will create a custom workout that'll give you and your body the best workout ever. And I got to tell you, I don't have anything. I don't have weights. I don't have a piece of equipment. And FitBod takes that into consideration even and gives me a workout just that I could do with my own self, like in a hotel room or in my empty apartment, whatever the case may be. FitBod is giving me things, and they give me a variety of them too, so I'm not just bored doing the same thing every time. And it's kind of fun to see what they have when you have no equipment. It's fun to see the workouts they come up with. FitBod studies your past workouts, tracks muscle fatigue, and recovery, and designs a well-balanced workout plan just for you. With over 1,000 demo videos, you'll learn how to do movements the right way, and you can even track your personal bests with FitBod's progress charts. It's never been easier to get the results you've always wanted, so check out FitBod, and right now you can get 25% off your subscription at fitbod.me/Josh. That's fitbod.me/Josh. Go get it today. Thank you to FitBod. Time for the news. And now we had something that I forgot to include in the thing, so I'm going to pull it up on my phone here. But we've been talking quite a bit the past couple of weeks about a murder that happened.
Penis.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Murder.
That's what I was looking for, not... Anywho, I mean, penises are involved, quite frankly. But we've been talking about that murder in Macomb, and it was the one where the woman was found rolled up in a carpet. She was evidently in an open relationship. Last week we found out that perhaps she wasn't necessarily in an open relationship. That's just something maybe her husband put out there and said, oh, yeah, she went on a date. We're in an open relationship. She went on a date with some random guy. And he gave a description of a man who became, in our eyes, suspect number one. And then turns out last week it was like kind of making it out to be like, oh, I think the husband might have did this. We have another update that's coming to us by way of Cody Quirk, who lives in the area. He writes to me at joshpottershow@gmail.com. He says, hello again. I was happy to hear you mention my update on the woman who was found dead rolled up in the carpet. You asked for another update because this is an ongoing thing, you see. And boy, oh boy, is there more to update you and the Roach Army on. Another woman, different from the previous update. Yes, because last week we had a update of a woman who came out and said that the husband was sliding into her DMs. This is a different woman, evidently, according to Cody. She has come out releasing text messages. These look more like DMs than text messages to me. But she released some text messages with the widowed husband. The correspondence between the two starts before this woman was even found murdered. She was missing for 5 days before she was found dead. I'm not expecting you to read all these messages, but there's definitely some gold in here. Again, no arrests have been made. So we have, let's just look at from the top. Maybe we scroll around here a little bit. But Kirsten noted that there are, 27 screenshots?
Maybe not quite that many, but there are quite a few. And it starts on September 19th. And I don't think that they found her body until the 20th.
Right. He says it's before she even was found murdered that they started talking. What a weird day to what a convenient day for this guy to have the DM start. Hey, is there a search plan for your wife? Do you need help with that? So they haven't found her yet. She's just missing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how this conversation begins. This woman, who, by the way, I don't know if I trust this woman. I'm going to say it out the gate. Because why is she sliding in his DMs to find out about a search about his wife? Like, mind your own business. You know what I mean? Is this kind of like, do you know what I'm saying? Is this kind of like a...
I mean, if this was a friend and their wife was missing, I'd probably be
Are
like,
they friends? I thought it was a stranger. See,
maybe
I don't know
it is.
the
I don't know.
context.
If it was a friend, I can understand. If it's a stranger...
Right, if it's someone
Yeah,
you
I don't
know, but if it's a stranger who just saw it on the news and is like, I'm going to hit up, that's weird to me.
Well, yeah.
So maybe you're right. I guess if it's a person that... So he writes, for those listening at home, hey, is there a search plan for your wife? Do you need help with that? He writes back, not yet, but there is some information that I am waiting on from the sheriff's office to confirm something. That's all I can say at this time. It's like he's doing a thing for the press. If my wife was missing, I'm like, I'm not responding to this person right now. I'm dealing with other things. But he writes a thorough response. And then all of a sudden their status of DMs got updated. It says you can now message and call each other and see info like active status and when you've read messages. I don't know what that
so
means.
they're on Facebook to start with. Like these messages, these first two, looks like they're on like Facebook Messenger, and then it switches over to an iPhone to iPhone messaging.
So as they go on, they're talking about that. He writes now later, he says, I'm hanging more flyers. And then she asks, do you feel okay today? And he says, I don't know. It's kind of it's kind of on. I feel lonely. My kids are still with their bio mom, and it sucks. I don't have someone here to be able to connect with. Ooh, that's good. He's using
really tugging the strings.
He's tugging the heartstrings. I'm so lonely. My wife's been missing for 48 hours. Because she's still, we don't have dates on this one. I guess now we're at September 20th, so she's been missing.
Yeah.
She's found dead or whatever.
Well, these still before, I think, are the 19th, so it might still be before she's found.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
So he's all
The
like,
night
I'm
before,
lonely.
yeah.
My kids are with their bio mom, and it sucks. So his kids are not of this lady. I understand. That must be awful. This woman's like, hopefully a family friend, because if she's just some Instagram person who's nosy, maybe she deserves what she's about to get. How are you, Frank? Now she's asking again. Leave him alone. He's obviously not great.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so angry at this woman, but I don't like that she keeps asking.
You don't like that she's compassionate and like, Frank, how
No,
are
because
you?
there's something weird about it. It's like, who are you? I would get annoyed. Like if I'm Frank and it's all on the up and up, and my wife's really missing, and I didn't do it, I'd be like, hey, I'm dealing with this right now. Can you leave me alone, person I don't really know? Like, you're just some nosy Facebook lady. But again, we don't know the circumstances here. I'm just thinking that it's kind of a peripheral person because of the fact that they released these text messages after the fact,
Yeah, you might be right, too, because at the end here, he gives away his phone number, and that's when they switch over to
they don't even have
messaging.
each other's phone numbers. So
I hear your side.
and it
now.
seems, now if Frank murdered his wife, and he's like, I'm lonely, etc., even if he didn't murder her and said he was lonely, etc., it sounds like this woman is like, how can I help you? Do you need anything? That's what it sounds like. So of course he's going to start getting sexual with it. It's almost like she's begging for that. Is that terrible? Is that victim blaming of me?
I'm not saying you're victim blaming here. All I see her saying is, do you feel okay today? I understand that must be awful. How are you, Frank, thinking about you and your wife today? Even if they're not friends, this doesn't quite give me like sympathy
If you have a family member die and someone's like, how are you? I'm obviously terrible. And then they ask you again and again and again. Not good. Not good. It's getting better. You pull off one of those. So anyway, he gives her his phone number, as you said, and it's blacked out there. Here's my phone number. Call me or text me if you want. So then she does. Now they're texting. Here we are moving into text. Hey, it's Frank, and yeah, I'm just taking it one day at a time, feeling lonely. Again with the lonely. Really throwing that one. You know, trying to reel it in. I'm sorry. Those people are relentless. Oh, I don't know who she's talking about as relentless. Does it say in there?
I'm assuming probably just like
the press.
The press, maybe. Yeah, people
Not
online.
her. You know who's relentless? This lady, I feel like. And that's the thing. I'm not a suspect. I'm innocent. The sheriff's office even told me I'm not a suspect. Oh, he's getting that out in front. Have they found anything else out? She asks. No, and they don't know because the death yet either. They don't know the cause of death yet either for her. They're trying to figure that out. Other than she passed away on the 18th, which is a Monday. Okay. She writes, so strange. She was so young and beautiful. Devastating. And then he writes, yes, exactly. It just sucks because, and I don't really know because it goes away. He's getting more into it. She writes, ultimately, I want to help you. If you did it or didn't do it, you're still a human, and you have to be having a hard time either way. This sounds like a woman who wants to fuck him.
This more so now. This more so
Whether
now.
you did it or you didn't do it.
Yeah.
She's starting to get that what is that thing where they Ted Bundy where they all wanted to fuck him even if he was guilty?
Insane.
What's that? Whatever that's
like
called.
Stockholm syndrome, but
yeah,
not
I don't know
being
what the fuck. It's like he's
just
so
insane.
Oh my god, is he a murderer? He's so hot. He writes, yeah, it's not easy, and then on top of everything else, being lonely and not having a feminine touch really sucks. Now the loneliness, he's really thrown that one in again, and now he's added, boy, I miss, it's been 5 days since I've gotten a feminine touch.
Feminine touch.
And then she kind of puts up a defense here. She goes, I bet it does. My boyfriend died of a heart attack in May of 2022. Oh, I thought she was going to say I have a boyfriend. My boyfriend died of a heart attack back in May of 2022. I was very lonely after. Now it sounds like she's like, we're both lonely. He writes, I'm sorry to hear that. And then she writes again, I think everything you're feeling is very normal. And he says, yeah, I've heard that a lot. She says, are you getting counseling? Is there anything I can do to help? Is there anything I can do to help you? I'm making blowjob motions again for those who are listening at home. Every time she says, can I please do anything to help you? I'm making blowjob motions because that's what it sounds like. I can reach out to someone, and also my attorney said that at some point I'm probably going to need grief counseling, especially when everything's done and over with, and I don't know at this moment. I thought he was going to say, and according to my attorney, I really could use some head. Be just what the doctor ordered. Now she writes again in the next message, how are you? Question mark, question mark.
It's getting better. Just wait.
And he goes, well, I just got here in Norman from being in Lexington at the memorial thing, well across the street. And he calls his wife's funeral the memorial thing. I was at that old, what do they call it, a memorial thing? Whatever.
Distancing himself from it. Frankie.
Oh wow! I didn't know there was one. You didn't know there was a memorial, lady. Okay. Yeah, but even though I wasn't there up front, I still was there trying to show people that I am a good guy, still being here. Well, since you're home and I'm here in Norman, do you want me to swing by? She writes, I would, but I have to be up at 5. I agreed to take my neighbor to the airport so she doesn't have to Uber, LOL. She's paying me $100, but I still regret agreeing to it. Just get an Uber, lady, $100? Anyhow. So that goes by. Now we're at September 24th.
It's been 5 days.
It's been 5 days. He types at 6:38 in the morning. He writes, morning, dear. She writes, good morning. How did you sleep, dear? Not long enough, LOL. LOL, well, IDK, why? But I had a dream about me and you, and it was, well, very hot, let's just say. I woke up with something. It's been a while since it has been this hard.
Oh, no.
Now, I'm going to say this.
Much like my wife, my dick has rigor mortis.
Not since my wife's passed away has blood flowed through my penis quite as hard.
I mean...
So here's the thing. I've used this tactic, I will say. I've done the dream. I've used the dream tactic. You don't throw it all in the first. All you do is see if they're curious about the dream, and then you can elaborate. Maybe not going to the lengths of being like, I have such a hard penis because of this dream. I don't know if you go that far with it. You certainly don't initiate with that. You start with the dream, and then and if they're curious, then you say, yeah, it was hot. And then maybe they go, give me the details. And then maybe then you give them some details. Still don't know that you go to, my dick is just so fucking hard over this. Let alone on the onslaught site there. But she writes back, now if you're a woman who was just like, I was concerned about your dead wife, guy, and how you were doing with all that, you would be alarmed at this sort of thing. You would be upset. You would be like, whoa, I don't know. You know what she writes? Oh? Question mark with a smiley face.
Now watch this drive.
I think I meant this one.
You keep saying this, you idiot woman! Idiot woman!
Yes, idiot. So then he goes, sorry if that was blunt. Yeah, it was. Sorry if that was blunt, but I have no idea why I had that dream, LOL. It just came out of nowhere. I've played this card before, fella. You're not fooling me. The dream card is the oldest card in the book. She writes, interesting. You'll have to tell me more later. Now she's playing in.
Yeah,
I hate this lady.
She's playing in more.
This is a gotcha.
I'm starting to hate her.
This is gotcha journalism.
You hate
then
her
she's
more
like,
than him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we know he's a murderer.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to get his dick sucked, and he's playing it actually kind of cool considering that he's a murderer, and he's trying to get this through while like it's up in the air what happened to his wife. He's like still trying to get. You gotta respect the game. He's trying to get laid right away. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get that like sympathy puss.
Yeah.
Right now. So I can't hate on him because he's doing his thing. She is like, I'm just concerned for the well-being of a human being. I really have empathy towards you. You must be going through a lot. And now it's all kinds of, ooh, you'll have to tell me more later. And then, of course, once he is found, all this has come out about him, maybe potentially murdering his wife, she's quick to releasing these text messages right away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So it's like, do you want to? You really want attention? You were trying to like shoehorn yourself into this thing, and now you just want some attention. That's why I don't like her, but I could very well be wrong. So he goes, interesting. You'll have to tell me more later. That's what she says. Then he writes, oh yeah, well, I would not mind telling you face to face. I could maybe show you some stuff that was in the dream as well. Drooly face. Kissy emoji.
And then she loved it.
She hearted it, which is like, it. That means, yeah, show me. That's what that's saying there. So time goes on, and now we have another thread here. It says, I have a lot. She writes at the top of this one, I have a lot of tattoos. No idea what the conversation. How did that start? Were you talking about burying your wife? And they were like, well, she's Jewish, and she had, I don't know. Where did this go? How does the conversation? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, yeah, I do.
I'm curious how they got to the tattoos part, because there's. I thought we were talking about a grieving man. I thought we were talking about a grieving man here.
I saw a tattoo you had in my dream.
He writes, I love that you have them tattoos. I can't wait to see the rest of them. And she goes, I'm about covered. And he goes, and then writes, can't wait. And she hearts it again. Another heart. So then she says, so, are you going to keep your house? Do you feel safe there? Yeah, that's why you want to know if he's keeping the house. This lady's trying to move in already. He writes, I don't know. Have not thought about it, really. But I guess I could, or I could move. I don't know her. I don't know her, and yeah, I feel okay. I think when everything is done, then I will be safer. He's writing nonsense. He's writing think instead of think. I think he's got one hand on the driver's seat and one hand on the... You know what I'm saying? Then she just writes, yeah, definitely. Doesn't even... Next picture is a picture of the man's cock. Right away. No prelude to it. We're talking tattoos. We're talking... Are you moving out of that house? Or
I think once it's all done, I'll be safer.
The reason this text before it, if you're watching at home on YouTube, and if you're listening, you can't see it, but if you're watching... A lot of typos in this thing. IDK, have not thought of. It's because he's fluffing up his dick to get it semi-presentable in order to text it. So she just goes, yeah, definitely get that. Get the whole thing with the house. Then next one, blink, picture of his cock. What is the reaction to that? We don't have one. No heart, though. She did not heart that.
That's how safe he feels in the home, though.
Yes.
He is not so scared that he can't get erect.
Yes, he's like, if I would I be this chubbed up if I felt unsafe?
No ghost will take my erection.
So the next screen grab, it says, I'm not a violent person. Yeah, I was in MMA fighting when I was younger, but I have also had enough life experience in the short amount of time. But I've been on this whole earth that there's no need in anger or violence, and I don't know, yeah, maybe she had a past that wasn't that great, but she had a bright future and a great life. Again, I'm just reading it verbatim. These are nonsensical sentences. I hope this all hurries up, says the woman. I hope this all hurries up. She's getting annoyed by how long the investigation is taking. I'm as anxious for you to get closure as I am curious what went wrong. I'm sad for her. Then he writes, I know, I'm sad too. It comes and goes, things. I remember about her things I miss about her smile, that the way she was singing all the time, always so happy. If there was a woman walking around my house singing all the time, she'd end up in a carpet too, let me just tell you. That's just a little commentary on this. I had a girlfriend who would hum in the morning, and I thought it was adorable for about 2 weeks. And then I would be like, can you stop humming? And I'd throw a pillow at her. All right, guys, Jesus, was that abusive? They're looking at me like I'm... No, I hated the humming. I miss about her smile, the way she was singing all the time, always so happy. I remember she hardly let me drove because she told. I mean, again, these are nonsense. I imagine another dick pic is coming. She told me that when she was younger, her sister and her mom always scared her by their driving. I miss her deeply, but I'm going to honor her wishes. Whatever that means. We're missing a picture here.
Where are you at? Yeah, because I feel like, I think that's the picture of his dick. And he said, I hope you don't mind I sent that to you.
Oh, so there must be one in between. There must be one
not
in
at
between.
all.
There must be one in between that I got that was nonsensical. That was nonsense. I'm sorry. But yes, we look like we're here at the bottom. I hope you don't mind I sent that to you. Not at all. She hearted that I hope you don't mind sending it. She didn't heart the dick, though. Okay. He writes now after she wrote not at all. She goes, okay, so any thoughts? I know you're working, and I hate to distract you.
Any thoughts on the penis?
He's trying to give feedback on the dick pic. That's tough. Okay, so yeah, I sent you my dick pic, and all you got to say is not at all. I mean, come on, give me some thoughts on my cock here. What do you think? Is it? She goes, my thoughts are, I still feel guilty, LOL. That's the one that you laugh about. Not that I like you, but that everything else is going on. So she's admitting to liking him now. So next day goes, I know and I understand. I'm just trying to push on with my life. It's been 6 days after all, or whatever. I mean,
yeah, it's not even been a full week, I don't think.
He's trying to push. I've dated girls for 3 months and been more fucked up over it than this guy is with his dead wife. I know and I understand. I'm just trying to push on with my life like my wife wanted me to do. And also a bunch of people told me I should just try to get back to normal as soon as possible. That means sending my dick pic to people. I know it's going to be hard. Is he talking about his dick again? And I know there's going to be times, but at the same time, I have to make sure that I am taken care of mentally, physically, and emotionally. I will never forget Michaela, but I need to start living life like she wanted me to do. Yeah, keep reiterating that point. She wanted me to do this.
Frank.
She would be, if she's looking down from heaven and going, send that dick pic. I am definitely going to make sure I am cleaned up for you tonight and looking fresh. This is the start of another one. Now he's going to see her, evidently. She hearts it, and she goes, oh, that's sweet. Smiley face. I'm kind of shy in person. He writes, yup. I want to make sure I look good for you, baby, and that's fine. Since you told me you were shy in person, that just means I'm going to have to make the first move, which is fine. I don't mind showing you at all. Kissy face, drooly face. She just writes, that's good. Not quite sure what's good there, but she writes, that's good. Next, he writes, I really, really hope we're able to see each other tonight. I want to pull you in close to me and kiss you. She hearts it and writes 3 smiley faces with hearts around them, whatever that is. Ooh, I'm surrounded by love, whatever that one is. Next.
Wait till we get to 6 days in.
Are we okay? Yes.
And on the
Now,
6th day.
and on the
sixth
and on
day.
the that sounds like a Harvey. What the fuck's that guy's name?
He wore
and
her-
that's the rest
And he
of the
wore
story.
her favorite color.
On the 6th day, God made a farmer. Okay. She writes, "Hey, I'm gonna take a quick lunch. If you're free, you're welcome to call." So she's gonna go out to lunch break. Maybe I'll talk to my friend Frank here. He goes, "Are you on lunch now?" "I'm wearing your favorite color." She hearts the favorite color part. Then he sends this pic. Ooh. I mean, Frank, that is... I'm trying to get a glimpse here. Let me zoom in on this. This does not look like it's all Frank to
Said,
me.
here's your quick lunch, baby.
Yeah, now, I mean, fill you right up. This is a wild photo. I mean, Frank is packing there. I mean, that doesn't... This looks like there's something else in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I'm saying. I can
I
see
think
the...
Frank is playing with shadows and lighting.
I think so, too. Boxer briefs
The man
really
can
do.
kill his wife. He can
Yeah, I
upstage
mean,
his dick.
They have. He's not a suspect yet, so he did a good job, at least as far as hiding that evidence. So he sends that, and then it's a kissy face. Not as bold as the last dick pic, by the way. Maybe you start with the one in the pants, and then you do anyhow.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't know her favorite color then.
So I wonder, did she hop on the phone? I don't know. It doesn't say. But next we have, that was me in in my tuxedo. Now he's just sending pics. This is me in June of 2022. Okay. She writes, "Nice. Do you like that look, dear?" He's writing. I mean, this is all fucking gross to me. So now we're on, this is all like the same day.
Yeah, it's all on the 26th.
So then he writes, "Hey, babe, I made it to Purcell, about to be at the funeral home." Oh, my God. "Hey, babe, at my wife's funeral." She writes, "Okay, please let me know how it goes. Please try to stay calm through everything." She's giving him some, like, solace advice. I don't know. "I will, babe, I promise." Stop calling her babe. It's creeping me out. She writes, "I'm running up to my office to grab my laptop so I can get some work done still." "Okay, lady." "Okay, love, do you think I could come see you after I get done here?" She writes, "I'm hoping I will be back pretty quick. Just message me when you're done." "Okay, love, how are you feeling?" "A little better." Good to know, lady. Then he writes, "I'm done with the funeral arrangements." Next message. She's writing to him. She says, "I don't know what it is, but I just can't take it right now." So I don't know what happened leading up to that, but she just can't take it. She goes, Frank writes, "Okay, did I do something wrong? I can prove that the news don't do what they are talking about the sheets." So now things probably are getting a little hairy for Frank. You know, the news is probably sniffing around. The police are probably starting to turn the focus of their investigation a little more towards Frank, you know, as the days go on. And she's probably getting a little cold feet here about getting dick pics from Frank and maybe having some lunch calls with him, and who knows what else is going on. So he's like, "Did I do something wrong?" It's like, "Frank, you're a murderer." So he's like, "I can prove this isn't
Frank.
true, blah, blah, blah." She writes, "How can you prove it?"
I mean...
He writes, "I am on my way back home, and I'll take pictures to show you." Now, this is just about, he sends, like, it says here, 9 photos
I
of,
wanna know
like,
what they
the
are.
bed. That's like,
Of just the bed.
"Look, the sheets are on the bed now." I don't know what it would have been, but now he writes, "I will, I promise, and I also promise that I will be okay, hun. Just please don't shut me out, and I'm sorry that you're stressed." So he's still trying to keep this going. She writes, "I'm not shutting you out. I think I just need a break from the chaos that is your life." Well, that's the problem you get in, lady, when you start sexting with a guy whose wife's mysteriously found in a carpet in the woods. He writes, "Okay, dear, and things are starting to go back to normal, but I understand, hun." She writes, "Thank you." Then she writes, "I have one question or statement even. I hope that if you are in any way connected to Michaela's death, that I would have by now shown you that I'm a compassionate human and that you trust me enough to know that I would help you through the very hard process of doing the right thing. Your beautiful girls are hurting. Michaela's kids and family are hurting. You are hurting too, and I hate it for all of you." What a human being.
You keep saying this, you idiot woman. Idiot woman.
So
Idiot.
she wants to fuck a murderer is really what's going on. So as we keep going here, I'm trying to see if there's anything more. What's sticking out to you?
It just gets really text heavy with the back and forth, and then by the last message, it's really interesting.
Yeah, because at the moment, I'm just seeing a whole lot of him trying to convince her and her talking about being compassionate and everything like that. And finally, it gets down to we have some pictures here where he's sending things.
With him in a tuxedo.
He's in a tuxedo. I don't have anything to hide about us. Yeah, we was talking, and yeah, I sent you 2 pictures. One was, yes, a dick pic, but you also liked it too, and we started this way off. So now they're parsing things out. She's like, what are you talking about? This was never sexual. And he's like, yo, I sent you a dick pic.
I wore your favorite color.
I wore your favorite color and
on
showed
my
you
penis.
my dick, and you hearted it.
I cradled my balls in the color you love.
Typical lady, gaslighting. So then the final message we get to, it starts off with him going, and why did you block me? So now we've gotten to the blocking stage of this relationship. She goes, I don't know. I know you are adamant that you're innocent, and maybe you are. I don't know, but if you killed your wife, I sure as fuck don't want you in love with or obsessed with me. Just consider that I don't know you. I still care about the truth. So this woman doesn't know. Remember we were talking in the beginning? Is this a family friend? Is this a friend of the wife's? Is this a friend? This is a woman who's interjecting herself.
Yeah.
Completely
She's weirdo too.
Unsolicited.
Yeah. I take back what I argued before. You were right.
I still care about the truth. This woman is claiming she's a truth warrior, a justice person. I still care about the truth. I still want justice for Michaela. I just don't want any problems trying to get it. Oh, you're such a brave soul. So she's like Superman, this lady. I am innocent, and all I want is the truth, and the person that killed my wife and hurt her, they need to come out and say it because they need to take their consequences for their actions. What a bold statement by Frank. She writes, good, I want that too. And then it says, why are they saying there's blood on your boots? Are you okay, Frank? Now she's watching the investigation on the news and going oh, they say there's blood on Frank's boots. Well, I'm going to get to the bottom of it as the vixen who's trying to get his dick pics.
And why is she interjecting herself? Does she want to be in this investigation as well?
It goes to the fact that I always say that women love murder. So this woman's like, I know this Frank guy a little bit. I'm going to DM him. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. She's investigating it on her own because now she thinks she's important. This is a lonely woman. It reminds me of that Jared documentary where the woman who got to know Jared was like, well, I guess I better have phone sex with him to entrap him so that I can give the FBI all this evidence. And eventually the FBI's like, yeah, okay. But none of her stuff was the reason that Jared got arrested. It was added stuff. I don't even think it was admissible, the evidence that she provided, because it was a recorded one-sided phone conversation. So they got him on the RICO thing with the child porn. So this woman's just sexting and talking sex on the phone to Jared about children for her own, I'm going to get him. It's so fucking weird to me. This whole thing is strange.
It's very odd. It's very odd.
God, what a fucking...
It's very weird that he's just...
I'm glad we have...
hard and being like, check this out. I don't know where my wife is.
Yeah, to send dick pics a couple of days after your wife died is pretty... But keep your ear to the ground there. Cody Quirk, our Roach reporter in Macomb, who is investigating this story pretty heavily. But let's get a couple more, and I know we're running a little long, but let's get to a couple of these other ones. That one went forever. This one we already had. Okay, that's Cody again, excuse me. We have another murder trial. This one from Max Mishenko.
Murder.
A new Oklahoma judge could lose her job for sending more than 500 texts to her bailiff during a murder trial. Lots of text and murder happening out there, folks, including messages mocking the prosecutor, praising the defense attorney, and calling a key witness a liar. These are just work text messages at the end of the day. This is just you're at work and you're like, Jeff's really on one this morning, so keep clear of that corner. The Chief Justice of the Oklahoma Supreme Court recommended that the removal of the Lincoln County District Judge Tracy Soderstrom in a court filing Tuesday following investigation by the state's Council on Judicial Complaints. Soderstrom had been under scrutiny since July after she was caught on camera scrolling through social media and texting during the trial of a man accused in the fatal beating of a 2-year-old. Oh my God. This is what they're like. And then, Your Honor, he struck the 2-year-old. She's like, She's on like Tinder. Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Scrolling. Missing as they describe the fatal. Oh my Lord. What a fucking. She's definitely like one of these people that's like heard it all, you know? Soderstrom, who was sworn in on January 9th after being elected in November, was suspended with pay pending the outcome of a hearing by the court on the judiciary, which will determine whether to remove her from the bench. The pattern of conduct demonstrates Soderstrom's gross neglect of duty, gross partiality, and oppression, according to the Chief Justice. The conduct further demonstrates Soderstrom's lack of temperament to serve as a judge. A phone call to a number listed for Soderstrom rang unanswered before disconnecting Wednesday. What were you laughing at?
I'm laughing at one of the paragraphs down below that where it says the judge text included saying the prosecutor was sweating through his coat during the questioning of potential jurors and asking, why does he have baby hands?
Yeah, this woman is on the.
Why does she do?
See, the judge. The judge really doesn't have to. I mean, the judge is supposed to listen when they're up there, and they really don't do much other than like sustained or like overruled or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Small hands.
So she's up there just bored. She's like texting the bailiff, like, you see this baby hand, little. Look at him sweating through his coat. I mean, we all kind of do that kind of shit at work or whatever.
We're not all judges.
Yeah, we're not all, presiding over the fatal beating of a 2-year-old either. You
Lord.
know. Soderstrom also texted a laughing emoji icon to the bailiff, who had made a crass and demeaning reference to the prosecuting attorney's genitals. So the bailiff is over there going like, look at the tiny. You think his hands are tiny? Look at the dick. I don't know what they're thinking. Okay, so they didn't say. The bailiff's texts were subject to being released, evidently. The man who was on trial while the judge was on her phone was eventually convicted of second-degree manslaughter in the 2018 death of Braxton Danker, the son of Marzel's girlfriend. Blah blah blah. State just couldn't accept that a mom could kill their kids, so they went after the next person available. Soderstrom texted according. So she's just like, now it's like she's watching court TV and she's just texting her friend about like what she thinks is going on. Soderstrom's text also included comments questioning whether a juror was wearing a wig, if a witness has teeth, and calling a police officer who testified pretty, adding, I could look at him all day. Look at this hunk cop.
I mean, if this Oklahoma judge gets Frank's case, he could be off.
Yeah, right?
He could be off.
Golly.
Look at the bulge on this guy.
Yeah, she might. Yeah. She'd let Frank go. I want this woman to get a job on court TV. She just does like, stream sniping of court cases and just comments things. She sounds like she'd be great at, doing like a pot, like go on YouTube, put up these cases, and then just be like, look at the fucking package on that. Look at the sweat stains on that prosecutor. When questioned by the counsel on judicial complaints, Soderstrom said her texting probably could have waited. Oh, well, that's quite the message. Quite the message indeed.
What's going on in Oklahoma?
I want to go visit Oklahoma City. Oh, here we go. This is a good way to end things. Luke Rutz. Another potential.
Murder.
But not really. I don't know if I think the guy lives. Now, we've had a lot of this kind of thing happen where people are. Last week we had a woman accidentally stab a baby when she meant to stab a dog. Remember? Were you here?
I think that was
that
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
My
bad.
I'm
sorry.
About.
Yes, okay. Well, in this case, a Texas man accidentally shot a child whilst officiating a wedding. That's tough to do. I mean, can't even imagine how that would. Sometimes
officiate a wedding or shoot a kid?
I mean, both at the same time. That's my point. Yeah. Like, I can see how both things obviously can occur, but together at the same time, that's crazy. Sometimes you hear a thing and you go, well, I can tell how that, your brain automatically clicks. I know how that went down. This one, I have no idea.
Have you ever seen a kid act right at a wedding, though?
I mean, that's the thing, but accidentally. So that means they were like, oh, I didn't mean to shoot the kid. I was trying to shoot something else. I don't know. Chief Deputy Ben Hochin said deputies were sent to a wedding at Hillside Events near Denton on a report of a gunshot wound. Deputies learned that 62-year-old Michael Gardner, the wedding's officiant, fired a gun to get everyone's attention. So this guy's just like, hey, we're starting the wedding. Shot it up in the air probably, right? You would think. He was going to fire it in the air, and as he did that, it slipped and went off. Oh, my God. We haven't been using guns to, like, get people's attention forever. I mean, what...
It's like a track-only thing.
Yeah, people started realizing the bullets fall as well. They don't just disappear into the sky. And, you know, it's been since, like, cowboy times that we've really realized that. The gun was loaded with a blank that Gardner made with gunpowder and glue. Okay. Hochin said Gardner accidentally, shot a child in the shoulder. They were taken to the hospital. Imagine that. You're like, I'm going to watch this slick thing. I'm going to shoot a gun in the air. I'm a real badass. I'm officiating this wedding. And then it's like, oh, and there's just some kid like, ow. Like, that's fucking nuts. Oh, boy. On Monday, Gardner turned himself in. He was arrested on suspicion of felony child abuse. I think it's like he did it in front of a wedding. They all knew it was him. You know what I mean? This guy was on the lam for a little while. Did they still go through with the wedding? And then he's like, who shot that kid? That was crazy, huh? Anyone catch who shot him? No? Weird. It's just kind of neglectful to take a gun out that has blanks and fire amongst people, he said. Yeah, I guess so. Investigators do not think alcohol was a factor in the shooting. Gardner hasn't been charged yet. He is expected to make a court appearance in the coming days. We'll keep your eyes on that one, folks. I'd love to hear more of this guy's testimony. This is the thing I got to start getting into or start figuring out is how to do follow-ups. You know, Tosh.0 often did that where he'd find the subjects of the videos. I want to find these criminals and talk to them and go like, what the hell happened that day? Please tell me, you know? Got to get to the bottom of it. Well, folks, another week in the books. Getting ready to go to Pottstown, PA this weekend, the 20th and the 21st. 2 shows. They're pretty early. Get tickets for them. I'd love to see so many roaches scurry out from under the floorboards and come out to Pottstown, Pennsylvania over at SoulJoel's. Tickets for that show and all the shows I'm about to tell you about are right in the description link, or you can go to my Instagram or my Twitter and find the links there. But coming up after that, on the 26th, we've got San Francisco Cobb's Comedy Club, the 29th, the Hereafter in Seattle with Chase O'Donnell. Next month, November the 22nd, Buffalo, New York, the night before Thanksgiving. I will be at Helium Comedy Club. And then on the 29th, I will be at Brea, California, right here in Southern California. Brea Improv. So those are happening in November. December, I've got La Jolla Comedy Store, the 1st through the 3rd. And then Tampa Bay Side Splitters. All those shows are for sale, and they're all in the description, like I mentioned, or you can go to my Twitter or Instagram and buy tickets. Twitch.tv/Josh_Potter, Patreon.com/The Josh Potter Show, and joshpottermerch.com. Buy up a shirt, my friend. I'm going to have them out on the road with me, too, I hope, for all of the dates, but for some I might not have them. But keep your eyes peeled. joshpottermerch.com. We might be adding to it soon, getting some other things in there. So I will keep you posted about that. Other than that, thank you for joining me this week. Next week, we'll have Mike Feeney in studio. And we'll be back next Wednesday here on The Josh Potter Show. Thank you very much.